rising and Venus signs. Welcome into the weekly reading. Tiana Louise, intuitive consultant, here to stand with you as we look at some of the energies coming up in your deep soul connection, your twin flame connection, right? You're here because you are in a separation with your person. You guys are experiencing some sort of difficulty, challenge, likely not communicating. And you're like, what's up with that? What's going on with them? And so I'm going to help you look at that. Thank you so much for liking this video, all of your likes, shares, and your subscribes. Man, I'm feeling the love. And a special thank you to those of you who have purchased live online private readings with me. It's been a pleasure to connect with you in that way. I do live readings online for individuals. If you'd like to book one of those, that's in my description box down below. Okay? Now make sure you also stick around to the end of the reading, because that's when we will have what we call here at Worth a Read, story time, story time, story time. And so story time is where I share a guided message, or a message that I've been guided to share with you from a book that's totally worth the read, a book that will help you along your journey, and it's our book of the week. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I also, in addition to doing intuitive readings, coach authors, speakers, entrepreneurs with a heart-centered message around the writing of their own books and the sharing of their own messages. And I just love books. I'm a book junkie. I always say, before there were coaches, there were books. So books are great self-help resources that you will always hear me talking about and promoting, because my goal is to help you help yourself. So that'll be at the end. Now, I'm pulling from the Kuan Yin Oracle deck to start off the reading, set the tone for the reading, give us the general energy of the connection and the higher perspective that you should be viewing that energy in right now. We have a new moon in Cancer coming up at the end of the week, July 20th, and that will be opposite Saturn. So a lot of heavy karmic energy, right, that you may have to deal with. And your perspective, the perspective you choose to take, will be very important at this time. So let's look at the overall energy, what Kuan Yin wants you to know about your connection. And if you don't know, Kuan Yin is the goddess of love and compassion. And so this is what she's saying about the energy in your connection at this time. Call of the Dancing Crane. Wow, that's very interesting. So this is the number 4 card. 4s represent, you know, the structure of something, the foundation, planning, the stability. So there may be a call for stability right now within yourself, within the connection, and the perspective you take around that will be important. Now, this is a deck that I do not use a lot, right? It usually sits on my shelf, but it's one of those ones that I know if I pick it up, there will be some wisdom in it for me. So in addition to reading this card intuitively, I'm going to grab some messages from the guidebook to help us flesh this out, this call of the dancing crane, right? And so I love that the dancing crane moves through the waters and the muddy marsh with elegance and grace. Okay? It says the mating call and dance of the crane is full of beautiful movement and flow. And here's the deal, right? That's what it looks like she's doing, dancing with a lot of elegant grace and ease. It says there are times when the astral waters of our emotional life become stagnant and will benefit from the healing movement, grace, and beauty of the dancing crane. The call of the dancing crane is a reminder that sound can be healing too. This is particularly so when your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional patterns do not support you in living the spiritual destiny you were born to live. So when the stories you're telling yourself are hurtful to you, actually, like a lot of the times we tell ourselves the worst case scenarios, we tell ourselves the negative stories about people we love to try and protect ourselves and keep ourselves safe from them. But what we really are doing is hurting ourselves, and that energy causes us to become stuck in our own emotional cesspool of low vibrational energy. Okay? And when that happens, one thing that can help bring us out of that is sound. Beautiful music, sound meditation, sound healing, crystal bowls, making music, all of that. Singing, dancing, movement. It helps us flow that energy through us so that it passes through and is not standing like still water in us. Okay? And I love what this card says. It says, like the dancing crane, if we accept, no, it says, as we grow spiritually, we can outgrow our astral conditioning. Just like sifting mud out of water, so we can move more freely and gracefully like the dancing crane, if we accept healing energy to help us filter through our psychological programs so that our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions can create new habits and patterns more aligned with what we would like to experience in our lives. These filtered energies can become more powerful than the old stories about life that no longer support us in living according to our spiritual life. Now, healing our astral waters, right? The actual action of it can require great patience. It can require persistence and a commitment to the application of the work so that it can be achieved, right? Like I said, the dancing crane uses dance, sound, yoga, sacred sound like chanting, right? All of that good stuff to help those lower vibrational energies move through you. But the work for you to apply is to stop believing in the old stories and the old patterns and the old programmings and just realize that it's simple conditioning, okay? That's all it is. I tell people all the time, why do you choose to believe your own thoughts? Have you ever thought about where your thoughts come from? Do you know where they really come from? And if you don't know where they really come from, how do you know they're in your highest good? Because you're leaning on some more thoughts to figure that out? Yeah, a lot of the times those thoughts don't really align with who you are, and they don't align with your heart, okay? And that's the real of it. So allow the divine assistance in and the astral healing that needs to take place to clear out some of this emotional stagnancy that's present in the relationship right now. It will support you. The divine can support you. In one way that you may tap into the divine is through sound healing. And this can be for you and your person. Okay? But these are the energies present right now, is really looking at ways to heal yourself, and music may be one of the things that brings you guys together, Gemini. So now let's really look into the connection. And I'm being called, I was going to use another deck, but I'm being called to use my Twin Flame Heart Oracle first. Let's just see where you guys are on this journey right now. You and your person. Where are you at on the journey, on the path? Okay. Yeah, we have wisdom. Again, that speaks to the astral cleansing. It says each twin must surrender, let go of conditions, aka programming, and allow the other to grow. This process cannot be controlled. Remember, when your twin elects to run from you, know that they run from their own self. This is the lesson for both of you. the lesson for the person running is realizing that they're actually running away from themselves, the person who's suppressing the connection, keeping you guys stuck, not talking, refusing to acknowledge, the other person, refusing to acknowledge the issues, refusing to even, admit that there is even an issue. The person blocking you, ghosting you, all of that stuff, that's the runner. And you got to let them run, because there's a valuable lesson in the running that they're running toward. And part of that lesson is understanding that they're just running from themselves. And then for the person who's not running, aka the chaser, because oftentimes you can't be a runner unless you're being chased. So oftentimes the runner is being chased by the other person in the connection. And eventually that person will stop chasing, because then they start to realize that, number one, I don't need to be chasing this person. Like, it's not getting me anywhere, and it's probably just driving me crazy. And number two, obviously, is something like they need space to grow, to heal, to be with themselves, and learn the lesson that they can't outrun the connection, right? Because whatever issues that they're running from will just follow them wherever they go, whether it's into another connection or if it's just, into themselves. Those issues will still be present. And in a twin flame connection, you are each other. So they are just literally running from themselves. And so the chaser gets to learn patience, gets to learn unconditional love, gets to learn how not to take the quote unquote rejection of the runner running away from them personally, and understanding that this is their issue. Okay. Where are you at? Yeah. The runner-chaser dynamic typically occurs when there's a healing of the heart that needs to take place, when there are heart activations still needing to happen. So it says, by healing your heart first, your inner beauty is expressed in how you treat yourself, your twin, and others. So oftentimes too, this runner-chaser dynamic comes up when each person still is carrying wounds that they need to heal, okay? And that they need to clear up in order to be a healthy partner in any connection. And usually it looks like them forming a stronger connection with themselves. And a lot of the times we think we already have that. But if we did, we wouldn't be running. And if we did, we wouldn't be chasing. Okay. So that's where you guys are really gleaning the wisdom from this healing of the heart that's taking place. And also coming to understand the concept of oneness. It says each twin holds the beauty and light of each other. This card reminds you that you and your twin are in union energetically, even though you may be apart or in transition. So this is about the oneness of soul, right? And that too is something that comes about as you go on this journey, you do your healing, and you really gain more wisdom about the nature of the connection. And you start to really understand that it was never just about physical union. It's actually more about union within oneself, which then leads to like this beautiful 5D energetic union between both souls. It's like both souls can really meld together into one. And that process is strengthened during the separation, right? And some people really resist that. They question it. They're like, is this real? But it is real. What you feel energetically, you feeling that person, you feeling the waves of energy of their spirit washing over you, all of that is real. You hearing them speak to you through your thoughts, the telepathy, the heart activations, the clairsentient feelings you get, knowing what they're going through, experiencing them even though they're not with you, all of that is evidence of this oneness that happens between you. Awesome. And so in the meantime, in between time, you know, when you're working through all of that doubt and wondering and just the pain of being physically disconnected, because here's the deal, we are human beings, we have human bodies, and as beautiful as all of the spiritual energetic stuff is, and being one with, you know, the other, and having this great spiritual energetic connection, the reality of it is you still have a body, okay, and your body has needs and desires, and so it's just natural that you have this desire to be in physical connection with another being and or with your person. And that desire, when it's not fulfilled, when the need for your person physically is not met, then it's like what this was talking about, when all that emotional stagnancy can come up and you start questioning, you know, and replaying the things that happened that led to the separation, and who was wrong and who was right, and the hurt and the pain and all of that. And so this call of the dancing crane is offering you some healing practices to be able to heal yourself through it. This is a part of healing your heart, healing the body around this connection, meeting your physical desires around this connection, and moving the energy, learning how to ground your energy, learning how to run energy, and learning how to flow energy through your body is really important. So yeah, the movement, the sound, the frequencies in music, binaural beats, binaural meditations, certain vibrational frequencies in some music is really healing and helpful, and you'll know by the way it makes you feel. And so that's something that you really have to lean into at this time to really be able to reap the benefits of the energetic portion of this connection, particularly while you are in separation. Awesome. Okay, so let's look at what's going on with your person. Or actually, let's look at what are the blocks that exist between you two at this time. So we have surrender. Yeah, having to surrender, detach, trust what's happening, having faith that what's occurring is supposed to happen, and really releasing yourself from any expectations or outcomes, right? This is actually building your faith to not just believe in this connection, but to believe in the universe, believe in the divine, being willing to fall and know that you'll be catched. Oh my God, you'll be catched. It's late. You'll be caught, knowing that you will be caught, right? So that's been something that's been hard to do, because these are the blocks between you two. Each of you still have an attachment to each other, to the connection, how you think things should have been, how they should be, and that's actually blocking you, each of you at this time, contributing to this emotional stagnancy that we saw with the dancing crane. And replaying the past, just replaying the past over and over and over and over again. I feel like these are like bittersweet memories, you know. It's like some of it's really sweet, and then you look on the good times and you reflect on all of that, but then you come to, if it was all of that, how did we get here? And that's the part that's just bitter, the past that you can't let go. And see, this talks about being attached to that. And this plays into those stories that we were just talking about that you gotta let go. You have to be willing to deprogram yourself of looking at the past in this way. Okay, looking at the past in any other way of besides, this is what was supposed to happen. It had to happen this way to lead me to this point, to know what I know now, and to move the way that I need to move now. Other than that, looking at the past is a waste of time. Okay, look. And here's the deal. Here's the other block. It's killing the creativity. It's killing the ability, hanging on to the past, staying attached to the past, not really surrendering the past. It's keeping you from moving forward. It's stunting the growth in this connection. It's stunting any kind of new ideas that could crop up to help you manifest a new beginning, right? It's stunting it. It's stunting the growth. So, but at the end of the day, each of you have free will. And this is another block in the connection, because one or both of you are choosing to stay stuck. And it's your choice to do that. You can stay stuck and stagnant for as long as you need to work through all of this past bittersweet memories and, past hurt, pains, and resentments. You can stay there for as long as you want. No one will judge you. Spirit will work with you. And that's your free will choice to do so. And while you can't be forced to make a move, it is showing up as a block now, right? Sometimes making no decision is a decision. And intentionally choosing to stay stuck creates a certain kind of karma in the connection, which tends to hurt everybody involved. So let's pull some tarot to clarify all of this. So look, we have the Seven of Raphael. Like I said, time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detoxification. Yeah, a need to clear out all of the past energies. Yeah. I need to, get rid of those old stories and make a decision about, how do you want to move forward? Like, what do you want to do now? You want to keep stressing about it? Here we have the Nine of Michaels. This is the Nine of Swords. You want to just stay stuck in your worry, your stress, your anxiety, your fear, your negative patterns, your self-sabotage, right? It says focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. What is it you truly desire? What do they desire? Okay? It says releasing feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. Gemini, I feel like this is more you and not your person, right? And look, because here's what it is you want, the Four of Wands. You want to come out of this. This is abundance. This is rewards. This is celebration. This is releasing yourself from burdens. And this is actually the marriage and commitment card. This is the connection card, the being with your person card. But you can't get there without making a decision to be there. And you can't make a decision to be there if you are stuck in the negative stories of the past. You have to tell a new story, Gemini. Tell a new story already. Like, you're even tired of hearing the same sad story. You're tired of going over and over it in your mind. You like, can we just be done with this already? Gemini. So what we're going to do is jump on over to the extended and look at how you can tell a new story about this. Because I feel like you need some support, Gemini. Because if you already had it figured out, you wouldn't be here. You want to figure this out. I can sense that. But you're like, how, Tiana, how do I forget? How do I forgive and forget? Well, I'm going to show you, okay? And for me to show you that, you need to click on the little link in the description box below. That will take you to the extended reading, and we will get clear on how to forgive and forget. All right. But before you go, it's story time. So the book of the week is Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown. And so I meditated on this book, meditated on your energy, and I asked, Spirit, what does Gemini need to know and hear from this book this week? And when I did that, I opened it. Oh my God, I think I am really sleepy, guys. I said I opened it to page 144, 145. So, on page 144, it says, the foundation of courage is vulnerability. The ability to navigate uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. It takes courage to open ourselves up to joy. Okay? Joy is probably the most vulnerable emotion humans experience. Humans are afraid that if they allow themselves to feel it, they'll get blindsided by disaster or disappointment. That's why in moments of real joy, many humans dress rehearse tragedy. They see their child leaving for the prom and then all they can think is car crash. They get excited about an upcoming vacation and they start thinking hurricane. They try to beat vulnerability to the punch by imagining the worst or by feeling nothing in hopes that the other shoe won't drop. It's called foreboding joy. Oh my God. Gemini, does this not go with what this reading is all about? You coming out of these horrible stories, these dress rehearse tragedy stories you've been telling yourself over and over and over again about this connection and what may happen if you come out of it and come into union. The only way to combat foreboding joy is with gratitude. Across the years, the men and women who could most fully lean into joy were those who practiced gratitude. In those vulnerable moments of individual or collective joy, we must practice gratitude. Pain. Pain is also a vulnerable emotion. It takes real courage to allow ourselves to feel pain. When we're suffering, many of us are better at causing pain than feeling it. We spread hurt rather than let it inside. So, to seek out moments of collective joy and to show up for moments of collective pain, we have to be brave. That means we have to be vulnerable. In all my research's 200,000 plus pieces of data, I can't find a single example of courage that did not require vulnerability. Can you think of one moment of courage that did not require risk, uncertainty, and emotional exposure? The answer is no. No vulnerability, no courage. We have to show up and put ourselves out there. When the singing starts and the dancing is underway, at the very least, we need to tap our toes and hum along. When the tears fall and the hard story is shared, we have to show up and stay with the pain. And as much as we value going it alone, and as much as we sometimes gather together for the wrong reasons, in our hearts, we want to believe that despite our differences and despite the need to brave the wilderness, we don't always have to walk alone. Ooh, Gemini, I'm going to leave that with you. I'm going to leave that with you right there. If you made it all the way to the end of this, that means you listened to the reading, hopefully, and you know it resonated. Take that. I'll see you in the extended. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you don't already. And I will see you soon. Peace.